This is the application we're going to make. You press one button to add a 1 to your problem, and it will display the new number above in the text box. If you press this button, it will subtract a number 1 from whatever your total is up in this text box. This is the entire XML file. There is a few different things going on here that I want to talk to you about. I've decided not to type and talk at the same time so that you can look at the whole file yourself. We're using a linear layout, and the orientation is going to be vertical. You're going to fill the parent with the layout of the width and the height. This is your text view. And again, if you wanted to type this as you were going, if you hit that angle like that, the less than sign, you can scroll through the different items in Eclipse to choose what it is you'd like to select, just like that text view. So you could have another text view, and then you would just go Android. When you hit that colon, you're going to get the hoppy uppy thing, right? And whatever kind of layout you want is going to happen there. So you're looking for a layout width, right? And you can type the word layout to quickly get ahead to what it is you're looking for. Fill parent, so the layout is going to fill up the entire parent, meaning the screen. Android. And then again, if you start typing layout height, wrap content, so the layout will wrap around whatever is inside of it, whatever buttons, whatever text views, whatever it is that you need to have will wrap around it. I'm going to get rid of this text view. If I wanted to finish it, I would need to do that to close the tag. If I just hit that less than sign and the slash, Android will fill in, or Eclipse will fill in the closing text view tag. The only problem is that most XML coders don't use the full closing tag. It's kind of handy because then it's easier to tell what the closing tag actually is. Most people just do the shorthand, however, which is just the slash and the greater than sign. Just word to the wise. So that's how you would do a text view. The text view is just where the text displays and updates when you press a button. Before I get into the warning codes that we're seeing here, hard-coded string, your total is 0, should use @string resource. We talked about this in class today, and of course when I was demonstrating this on Stephen's computer, we kept getting errors anyway, but we're going to work through this together, believe me, in a minute. This right here, your button, same deal. If you wanted to make a button in Android, you have a couple of different options here. You can either go in your graphical layout view, grab a button, and simply drag it into the screen and go plop, right? And then if you look back over here, you're going to see where that button dragged in, and there it is. Eclipse automatically assigns an ID to your buttons. More on this subject in just a couple of minutes. The default is wrap content. You know, it's just pretty straightforward to drag them in like that if you want to. But if you want to type out the code yourself and set it up yourself, again, you can just do that less than sign, grab a hold of the button, Android, and your layout width, just like we did in the last little blurb that we were talking about. And of course 250 dp would be density pixels as opposed to actual size pixels, so it would be dependent on the density of the screen, which is how cell phones are measured, not necessarily the height and the width of the screen, which is kind of a funny concept to get a hold of. Alright, if I look over at my graphical layout, I've got everything all set. The only issue we ran into, of course, was that we were getting these warning codes here, the little yellow warning codes. And I decided to be a good coder today and talk to you a little bit about what that was all about. And of course it ended in disaster because we were still having errors with Stephen's computer, but who knows why all that was happening. So I decided to come home and untangle it myself, just to redeem myself, I guess. But if I actually wanted to demonstrate to you what's the deal with this, okay? And we did this in class already, but let's do it again. If you're looking in, let me just get this set the right way here. Oh, jeez. I hate it when it does this. Here we go. We got to get this situated, and then I've got to get my package explorer open. Well, this is just one of the quirks of Eclipse. Sometimes you have to play with it a little bit before it ever goes back to the way you actually wanted it. Let's see, which one am I actually doing here? I think it's this one. Blah, blah, blah. That looks about, well, we might have to stop the movie here for a minute while I get myself untangled. Package Explorer. Actually, which application am I actually using here? Alright, hang on, I gotta get untangled. Let me just stop the movie for a minute.